everybody, and welcome back to Turnabout podcast. I am your host, a French submarine.
Okay.
Do you want to do it again?
No. It's perfect. I'm keeping this in. This is too good. And best
I am a
intro ever.
submarine. I
You
am.
are. The submarine, as in the underground vehicle, or the submarine, as in the sandwich.
Oh no, I am a French underground vehicle in the sea.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You may know the Beatles.
The Beatles wrote a song after me. I am blonde, so they confused my hair color for yellow, and the song was born.
I mean, they are British after all.
Yeah, and they also wrote Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds for me. Yeah.
I think you should press charges, ma'am.
I'm considering it. They're so obsessed with me. Like, guys, get off my back. Stop mooching off me. You know what I mean?
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Well,
So, friends and enemies, in turn, I am Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend's testicle from Trinidad, which got swollen, presumably because he got the COVID vaccine, which also resulted in his wedding being cancelled. And welcome back to Turnabout Podcast!
I'm so happy to be with someone as important as you. As soon as you said Nicki Minaj, I knew exactly where this was going because
Girl,
I've been reading on this for a while. I'm collecting myself.
It is the pairing of the century.
What the fuck is going on? Yeah, so I'm so proud to be with you. I hope your testicles are doing okay. I hope your wedding has not been postponed again.
It's not my wedding. It's truly an honor. I am the testicle.
Oh, you are? Well, I hope you're doing better. I hope you're back to your normal size.
This is by far and away the best intro ever. That's going in the timestamps.
Current affairs. Oh my god. I am laughing a lot. Okay. And welcome back to Turnabout Podcast on this note of pure chaos. We're very happy to be back. For episode, I was gonna say 3, 4?
No, it's 35.
3? So, episode 3? No, but of season 2. Is it our...
3.
I think it's our... Yeah, no, probably.
I think it's a 3rd.
I think it's 4th.
When we came back, we did... And now you're gonna... wait.
We did assistant, and we did best judge and stuff, and then we did the, discussion about the second trilogy. So this is our 4th episode.
Yeah, the criticism.
Yeah, already.
That was a good fucking episode.
First month back. So, welcome to the 4th episode of the 2nd season of Turnabout Podcast. This week we're going to discuss detectives after a little series and assistants, lawmen. But before that, we have our weekly shout out to our favorite artist of the week.
No, wait.
And this week, spoilers alert.
Wait. Firstly, I wanted to say that does this cap off this series? Because I don't think there's anything else to cover.
I don't think so. We've done victims. We've done defendants.
Culprits,
villains.
Assistants, lawyers, judges. Prosecutors.
Yeah, detective is the last. You know what? If you think of anything, write us in the comments what you want us to discuss. What about witnesses? It's gonna be so long. Imagine ranking the witnesses.
What about people who are not witnesses?
We can do that. Passengers? Bystanders? We could do a
I mean,
bystanders episode. I'm down.
Penny
I want to
Nichols,
do
Lisa
all of the
Basil.
back. Yeah, I want to do all of the background characters. Just the people you click on and they don't show up, but you just have like a little text conversation with them.
Okay, we need this episode. Like,
We need those 2 episodes. So you know what? Maybe this is not the end of this series of ranking and questioning.
absolutely.
We do love those episodes.
Yes.
And we
That's
hope
why
you
we're
enjoy
sticking to
them
the
too.
formula.
Yeah. I mean, you don't change a winning team.
No. The second thing that I wanted to mention before we get to the artist is that I just wanted to apologize in advance if this episode goes up on Wednesday instead of Monday and Tuesday. This week is kind of hectic because I am currently in the process of moving back to the UK for year 3 of uni. So I might not have time to edit in time for Monday or Tuesday. But yes, if it's up on Wednesday, I'm sorry, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But to be honest, just to give you more background information, Aris does a wonderful job of editing each week and he's always on time. So I don't
Oh,
think anybody will hold it against you. And everybody who listens to the podcast knows how good the editing is and how perfect it is. So don't worry about it.
that's
Wednesday
so
is perfect
sweet.
as well. But that's true though. You do a really
Yeah.
good job. So and Aris is he has the best work ethic. So then it's just like, oh, let's not record this week. And he's like, no, our viewers. So don't really don't hold it against him. He's doing
Don't
his best, and
expose
I'm
me like
sure
that.
if you want, you can cut this out, but it's the truth.
No, not cutting this out. It's cute, but still. I am a neat freak. I am.
Well, but it's good. You're very consistent. Hashtag companies, if you're listening to that, maybe hire this man. It's good. As his collaborator, I give him a letter of recommendation, and my
Oh.
stamp of approval. But yes, so we'll see you beginning of next week. You'll hear this beginning of next week ish. And just before we get into the artist, spoilers alert.
Yes, thank you. Close
Yes.
save.
It was a close one, yeah. We're
Okay.
getting much better at doing the disclaimer for the spoilers.
We haven't missed a
But
single one in
yeah,
season 2.
we are a game on top of the
Yes.
game.
Okay.
So this week's artist is someone that I'm very excited about.
Are you
because it is our
introducing her in
first-
French?
Do you want me to?
Yes, please.
Notre première artiste française de toute l'histoire du podcast, margauxcazal. Okay, I'm gonna say that again in English. But our first French artist of all time that I've spoken to, and I was so happy of speaking French and explaining the podcast. We discussed it. There's not a lot of French fan of Ace Attorney, so we are 4 in France, including you and me. So it was really good. I was really happy to feature a French artist. Her name is margauxcazal, and she's just so good. So good.
Absolutely. Do you just want to jump into favorites?
Absolutely. What was yours, bestie?
Honestly, I couldn't decide because there's some I love. I love all of them. But one that really got me thinking is the one where Clavier is holding his guitar and is saying, "My guitars are like my lovers." And I just kept thinking, does that mean you stick your guitars in your ass?
The first half of this sentence was normal, and I was like, oh, we're gonna have an in-depth discussion about, Christoph, Clavi, what's his fucking name? His love affairs and his relationships. I was really excited for this discussion, and then it took a turn. A
For the
sharp
worst.
turn. For the worst, yeah. I will not be responding to that question. I don't know if it was targeted towards me. I will not. Okay, is that why you liked it?
I honestly, that's why I liked it. But other than that, like the artwork is amazing. I know you have your favorite as well, so I'm not gonna pick another one. So you can go ahead and say your favorite, and then we can discuss the art in general.
My favorite one was, and it's actually the first one that I saw of her ever. Like I opened the Tumblr and I think it was one of the first ones. I was like, oh, I love this, and it's Phoenix and Edgar's like dress as
Mm,
princes. I really like this. It is giving me one is a diplomat in like the other person's country, and the other is a prince, and there's a forbidden romance, and then the father sends the diplomat back to them countries, just fascinating stuff. It also really reminded me of a comic called High Class Homosexuals, which is top tier amazing. It's the story of a princess and a prince who are both gay, like marrying each other to be with their gay lovers. And it's so good and so funny. Like the prince is in love with a guard and the prince is in love with like a maid. And it's so, so,
what?
so good. It's excellent. And
Is
they're
this
like,
true? Is this real?
it's no, like it's a real comic. It's not a real story. I'll send it to you. It's so funny. Uh, I'll send it. We can put it in the description as well, but it's fantastic. And I used to read this a lot, especially before like coming to uni. I'll send it to you. But yeah, it's such
Oh,
a funny comic, and it's just like gay people in castles plotting. It's so fun. So this reminded me of that.
what you just said reminded me of an old Tumblr post I came across, which is like a girl in her kitchen, and it says Texan kitchens be like from Texas, and it's full of crosses. And then a guy replied and said same. And then someone else reblogged it and said you two should date. And the girl responded and said I'm lesbian, and the guy reblogged it and said I'm gay.
Yeah, that's high. That's the comic basically, and it's the best thing ever.
This is shaping up to be one of the good episodes.
A great start.
But yeah, I love Margaux's work, honestly. Like
It's so good.
I know we said one favorite each, but she drew Clavier and Apollo with a cat.
Oh, that was so cute. I completely agree.
Like they're totally a cub couple. They wouldn't have a dog.
They're not like that active. I don't think they
No.
jog, you know what I mean? Like they would 100% stay with their cat and like watch Netflix. What show
Yeah.
would they watch? I feel like they would watch crime documentaries.
But it's Apollo though. Like Clavier would be into that. I believe you're
Yeah.
right. But with
Maybe
Apollo,
then just documentaries. I feel like that's their vibe.
I don't know. I know you watched it, but Apollo, it's giving Bridgerton.
Yeah, kinda. I did watch it. And if you haven't, don't watch it with your mom. That is my recommendation. There's one episode where there's like a 10-minute scene of a cunnilingus, and we're just
Of a
sitting
what?
there, like of a guy giving head to a girl.
Oh,
Yeah. And my cat was watching like very carefully. My cat was like into the show, but my mom and I were just like sitting next to each other being like, huh, that's interesting. So yeah. But they would totally watch it together. They would. With their cats, who would be
yeah.
also interested in the show like mine was.
Apollo. I'm happy you agree because it was either that or iCarly.
I think maybe more Bridgerton. But
Yeah.
I feel like they're like I love them together, and I feel like it's not a bad thing, but I feel like they're a slightly boring couple together, which is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like a couple who just kind of doesn't do anything, just is together.
Like a
Like it
like
gets
a gay couple that owns a lot of plants. Like they're plant parents.
yeah, like they give me grandpa vibes
Hmm.
of like, just making tea and like sitting on a porch on a bench and just looking at the birds kind of couple, which I think is a really cute couple, but that's the vibe I'm getting.
I'm gonna end this episode now because I can't take this shit anymore. Okay, so yeah, Margaux's art is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's so professional. It looks super cute,
Yeah.
and we're beyond grateful for her letting us feature her. So please go check her out. We're gonna. She asked you to link her Twitter.
Yeah. Her Twitter. We can also link her Tumblr.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's most active on her Twitter.
Mm, perfect. Yeah, because I think the posts on Tumblr weren't really recent.
Mm.
But we'll
Twitter is the
we'll
way to
link
go.
everything and you can go like
Yeah.
everything.
She's like the sweetest. She's so interesting. If you're not a French fan, let's all be friends with each other, form a sect, and take over the world. That is my
Absolutely.
plan. And Aris will be a part of it because he's not French, but he's one of us. He did go to Paris for for a long time, and he ate a lot of baguettes.
Mm.
So that makes you kind of French, you know.
And the snack we ate for breakfast, what was it
Napolitain.
called? Napolitan.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Lucie and Aris show Paris how it's done.
how it's done. Yeah. So please go follow her on Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitter, and like all of her pictures. And thank you again, Margot, for letting us discuss your work. We loved it so much. It's so wonderful. Like it has such a warm vibe to it.
Mm, mm.
It's really good. Thank you, Margot.
Thank you. So,
So, detectives. We love them. We hate them. We rank them.
I did not see that coming.
A transition.
Disclaimer, will also be featuring characters from Ghost Trick.
Yes, because we said so.
Because we can, because it's a fucking podcast and not yours, and you probably have a small
Absolutely.
ass penis.
Don't insult. Don't insult our viewers. You don't have a
I'm
small
sorry.
dick. Do not listen to him.
No, you don't. But if you haven't played Ghost Trick yet, go play it. It's an amazing game. Like
It's so good.
it's on par with Trials and Tribulations for me.
Definitely. And it's such a great standalone story. I
Oh,
think that,
yeah.
yeah, definitely. Like, if you have, like, I did it in like 2 or 3 days. It's super quick. You'd be addicted, and it's a great story. I really recommend it. But yeah, do you want to go first with your rankings of detectives?
Of course. So, as with our assistants, we have ranked them based on how detective-y they are.
Yeah.
Because honestly, picking favorites would be kind of unfair. And with that being said, my number one is Emma Sky.
Okay. I see you.
She and me have put our differences aside, and
I'm so happy for you too.
honestly, like, who has the tech? No one has tech which compares to her.
True. She's the
Like,
only
she's the most
detective to
resourceful
give us
one.
something.
What?
I said she's the only detective who gives us something to help
Yes,
investigate. Yeah.
absolutely. And she doesn't really like. She's the only detective I can think of which isn't really okay with arresting the wrong person. Most of them are just like, there's the evidence, it's incriminating. But Emma was always like,
Yeah.
I'll help you prove Clavier wrong or Nayuta or,
And
So
she
yeah,
snackoos you. So
she eats
a lot of
snackoos.
positive points. Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to eat snackoos. I want to see what they
I
taste like.
really like adult Emma. Yeah. What do you think snackoos are?
I think
Like
they're like
chips?
chocolate covered nuts
I think they're nuts as well. Yeah.
because they have this shape of a peanut, but they're
I want to
brown.
eat
They're dark brown.
snackoos. Yeah. I was
Absolutely.
thinking maybe they're like roasted nuts, so that's why they're
Mm,
dark brown. But yeah, the
yeah.
snackoo tobacco. But yeah, she's I really like adult Emma. I feel like I can relate to her.
Mm,
She's me. I mean, she isn't at
absolutely.
all. I think I have a very different personality, but I understand how she feels sometimes.
A lot of meaningless discussion this time, not in regards to our view as genitalia, as discussed before
Mm,
by me.
yes.
Number 2 is Detective Cabanella from Ghost Trick,
Okay.
because although he had his pervert moments and I don't know, he kind of gave me the ick. At the same time, he was the only one who was ahead of the investigation and the only one who was aware that there might have been a manipulator.
Mm,
Like when no one else believed him, when everyone else didn't think that ghosts were real, he already had his theory with the guy from the junkyard.
yeah.
And
That's
it
a
takes
fair point.
skill.
We have a different ranking. We have a very
Um,
different ranking.
I am
But yeah.
sure. Number 3 is Angel Star.
Okay. Okay, we have a very different ranking. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Because Angel Star, although I mean, she does have her grudge with the prosecutors, but Miss Thing, it sure takes a lot of skill to like hunt down Lana Sky in the parking lot, and Lana Sky was complicit in that murder. She was right, Angel Star. She might have not murdered Bruce Goodman, but she definitely witnessed right. I don't know. I feel like she has the fit. She's definitely a detective. I love her attitude. She, like, I can just imagine her seeing Lana Sky pull up with the corpse from the security office and her, like, Roman Holiday by Nicki Minaj playing in just running
Yeah.
around the parking lot in fast motion.
I know that Angel Star can run in heels. Do you remember
Mm,
those videos of like people running in heels like last year on TikTok? That was Angel Star. I feel like she has that kind of ability to run in heels like really good.
I agree.
Mm. And I fear any woman who can. That is a disturbing skill to have. So yeah, I fear her.
A ferocious woman.
Yes.
Hmm. And then at number 4, I kind of like last week when I had Athena and Apollo together, I have for fourth and fifth place Damon Gunt and Lana Sky. I know we have a completely different list. Like now that you've made it aware, like clear, every other choice I've made, I can
Yeah.
realize, I can sense it. But yeah, Damon Gunn and Lana Sky, like Emma, Jake Marshall, everyone has, and even Gumshoe has let us in the info that they used to be like the top investigating duo. Like that's
Yeah.
how they rose to success because they were amazing together. I just put Damon Gunt in number 4 because he's the one who stayed in the police force after they succeeded in like climbing
Yeah.
ranks, and also he has Baratides. I want to suck his tits. But that's beyond the
Damon
point.
Gaunt?
Girl, don't tell me you've never noticed before. I've pointed this out again.
Oh, probably. My brain must have shut down. Soon as heard Damon Gaunt and titties.
His
Oh,
suit looks like he has boobs.
Yeah, maybe like pecs. Yeah.
Yes.
Juicy pecs. Okay.
Yeah, like
see that.
Like Japanese manga bara titties.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lana Skye, I'm not doubting her skill. It's just that she eventually became a prosecutor. So you, I think, are frozen.
Oh, I can see you.
Frozen.
You don't see me? Oh.
She is frozen.
Am I back?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Stuck.
This is gonna be fun to edit.
I can't take this shit anymore. I'm so tired.
I can hear everything that you're saying. Oh. Hey? Am I back?
You are. Could you hear me?
I could hear you the entire time. Like, you weren't frozen at all for me. So you were just like, I'm so tired. It was so funny. And I was like, Aris, I am here. I'm very much here. I am back. Do you have problem with your Wi-Fi?
Okay. No, I don't. It's been such a long time since we had this problem.
Yeah. Okay, so we were at the juicy tits of Damon Gaunt, yeah.
Juicy tits, and then I was starting to say that Lana Skye is just fifth instead of fourth because she left, whereas Damon Gaunt continued his investigations, I guess. I mean, I don't know what he did as the chief. Yeah. At number 6 is Tyrell Bad, because I love him. He's a film noir detective, complete with a mock cigarette lollipop and his hand in his pocket, which we all thought was a gun. I love Tyrell Bad. I honestly think he's so underrated. Like, I don't know. He had it off. He started off very rough with Gregory and Raymond Shields in the second game, but then when they started working together and saw how much of a pain in the ass Manfred was, I loved their dynamic.
It was so good.
At 7 is Chief, which we don't have a name for. I am pretty confident in my theory, which is he does not have legs. I think his waist is connected to the desk. I think that is part of his body, and he's just always around. He's chilling. He's always working. He's always super polite, and he's always very helpful. Like, he'll always tell us, "Oh, Gumshoe is an inn. Damon Gaunt is an inn. Da 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 da." Like, he'll give us the tea.
Completely agree. Like, he'd be like your uncle at a family reunion who gives you all of the gossips. And you just would be like, you'd come over and he'd be like, your cousin is getting knocked up. And you'd be like, thank you. And just leave. I love him. He's so helpful.
Yeah. So you go, Chief.
You go, truly.
At number 8 is Shilong Long because although he always manages to make a fool of himself, honestly, he gets the job done at the end of the day. And we love to make fun of him. Um, yeah, that's it. At number 9 is Detective Jowd from Ghost Trick again. So this one I was kind of I didn't know if I should have put him higher, but at the end I decided to put him on number 9 because he did end up in jail.
That's true, yeah.
Which is pretty important if you ask me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's otherwise an incredible detective, complete with an homage to my next choice, my next pick, my next ranking position, which is number 10, Dick Gumshoe.
Okay.
The original. But I don't know.
The OG.
Since the OG, but since the ranking is based on how competent they are, Gumshoe doesn't rank that high.
Yeah.
He arrested Mia. Excuse me, Maya.
Yeah.
And then, like, Will Powers, and then it just starts spiraling into him arresting always the wrong person. I mean, sure, in the later cases after his introduction, he gives us Missile and the metal identifier thing, which we used to find the thing in the bear in Farewell.
Yeah.
Oh, and the bullet as well. True. But at the same time, like, he's always helpful. I love him. But he's not the most confident.
Yeah.
Like, he did run a red light in Farewell and ended up crushing his car.
He is eating, like, noodles every night because he keeps getting demoted.
I'm sorry, Gumshoe. I don't want you to be selling chargers after the time jump. We're horrible. I want him to be like chief of police or something. I don't know.
I don't think he'll be chief of police. I just hope he's, like, slightly higher. Kind of like, I feel like it's too much responsibility and it will stress him out. But I hope he has, like, a slightly better position, but he's still, like, not on top of the food chain.
Or
Just
a
has
better
a chill
wage.
life. A better wage, better hours. You know, I can kind of see him do something like Chief, just kind of stand behind an office, a desk, and just Google random stuff all day. I want that for him.
Yeah. So number 11 is Boobs Fulbright, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say. I didn't care for his twist. I mean, despite the fact that he's evil, he helped out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, now it starts going downwards for me after Gumshoe. Because the next one is, unfortunately, a crush of mine. It's Darien Crescent.
Okay.
I mean, again, I don't have a lot to say, but I'm guessing if he managed to have the title of investigator, it's not, like, random.
And yet,
right?
It's like, I don't really see him as a detective.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Doesn't.
Yeah, like, I feel like for the most of them here, I don't have a reasoning, so I'm just gonna kind of like power through them. Because the next one is, for example, Jake Marshall, then Bruce Goodman. Like, I don't have something to say. But the next one I do, because it's Look at Me.
What number is Look At Me at?
Look at Me is at 15.
15. Okay. Okay.
Why you're smiling?
Where is Lynn?
I haven't gotten to her yet.
She's in your top bottom 5?
Don't spoil my rank.
Okay. Get to Look
So,
At Me.
yeah, Look at Me. Honestly, if you manage to make a reputation out of bullshitting anything and just being batshit crazy, respect, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're good at your job.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like anything and absolutely everything he said, he just pulled out of his ass.
Yeah. I
Unhinged.
agree.
Number 16 is Valerie Hawthorne, who I didn't even know was in the police force.
Yeah.
So
Just dead
pop off.
sister.
Yeah. And 17 is Body Face, because like the people who like ended up like here are just like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then
Agreed.
number 18 is Candace Arm. Sis, probably not the best move to like confront Ted Tonate, who had a bomb in his hand, while you were like had absolutely nothing going for you. Like, of course you ended up dead. I see your reaction and I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And that's what that brings me to my last spot, number 19, which is Lynn from Ghost Trick.
I'm beyond shocked.
Now, hear me out.
I'm so shocked. I am disgusted. Explain yourself.
Girl, if you're an investigator and during an investigation you manage to die 5 times, how good of an investigator are you? Tell me. She
I will
died
not
5
answer this
times.
question. I will not answer this question.
Like, forget Valerie or Buddy Faith or Candace Arm, who died once. They're dead. Like, sure, you were stupid, you died. Fucking Lynn died multiple times during a single night.
So you put her last? I'm shocked.
She's not really a good investigator.
Okay. I feel like I need to get on with my ranking in order to discuss this point.
Okay, you can start with yours. That was mine.
My number 1 is Lynn.
Oh my god.
My numero uno is Lynn. So I was like, wait, we have a very different ranking. I put Lynn specifically because Homegirl got killed 5 times, and every time she got killed, she just stood up again and went back to investigating. You could not stop Lynn from investigating. She was murdered so much, and she kept on going. She was
But that
forced
was
to be
because of
reckoned with.
Yomiel.
Yeah, but like for me, like when I think of good detectives, it's people who like never give up and who like legit chase the truth no matter what. And you cannot tell me that Lynn wasn't that. She was so passionate. Ever since she was like 6, she was like, I'm gonna pursue it. She was so adamant about it. She like chased everybody. She was so persistent. Like she annoyed everybody. Like she was a great detective in my book. So that was my number 1. Lynn, a targeted redhead, she was the menace all along. She kept going. Like she was out here trying to stop everything, like the execution. I really liked her. So she was my number 1. My number 2 is someone I think it's gonna surprise you, but I do agree with what you said. It's Tyrell Bad. For me, he's yeah. A bit of a delayed reaction. But yeah, for me he's such a good detective. And with the I can never pronounce it. Yagatarasu, he's so adamant about
Yadagarasu.
pursuing the truth. Like I love that about him, and I love the whole film noir thing, and like the whole relationship with Gregory. I think he's such an underrated detective. I love him so much.
Hmm.
So he was my number 2. My number 3 is someone we don't agree with on, and I do agree with everything that you've said, but it's Dick Gumshoe because he is so bad at his job, but I do think he gets better. And like, there's like certain instances where we really need evidence. He like chases us, and then he comes at the last moment. Like, he is very. You can tell that he loves his job, and he is ready to make loads of efforts for the truth. And I think by the
Hmm.
end of like the third one, he's more like aware that he's arresting the wrong people, and he's like, "No, help us with like Maggie Birds and stuff." So not number 1, but not bottom either. I think
I think
he has
my
redeemed
ranking
himself in
was.
my eyes.
I agree. I agree with that point. I think my ranking is based on competence, whereas yours is based on work ethic.
Yeah, exactly. On like the essence.
Yeah,
Yeah, which makes sense.
it does. And
For
I
you to
agree with
rate
your
it on,
choices if that's what it's based on. I mean,
and I agree with yours on your like scale.
like Lil Mama came back to life to finish the fucking case. I mean, pop off.
That's work ethic, yeah. But on on how good they are at their job, I agree with yours definitely. And then we have Shilong Long. The man was weirdly obsessed with being a detective, and he was good at his job. What can I say?
And it run in his family.
Yeah, exactly. Fifth one was someone who I think we're gonna be surprised by once again. I have Damon Gaunt.
Oh,
I think he'd make a. I think he's a great detective. I think he's super persistent. I think he's like shady enough to get some like weird like information, all that kind of stuff. Like, I could definitely see him. Then we have Candace Arm, just because, well, pursuing the truth. She did head on. It wasn't a really thoughtful decision, but she was persistent. Kind of same for Lynn. I was laughing so much when he said like those were your bottom 2. I was like, oh, those are like my top tiers. Um, then I have Cabanella,
mm,
amazing detectives, closely followed by Jod,
mm.
kind of because yeah, Jod got locked up. I mean, he never stopped looking, but he was like kind of more chill. I don't know. Those were my 2. Then I have
Jowd
in
is definitely that episode of Victorious where they get to prison and they perform "I Want You Back" from the Jackson 5 in the
yes,
courtyard. That's giving Detective Jowd.
that was a great episode. They go to prison in a foreign country, right?
I
Because they've
hate that episode.
blinded. I love it so much. They blind the president by kicking him in the face with a shoe.
Isn't he
Amazing
like?
content.
Doesn't he already miss one eye?
Yeah, and they completely blind him.
Iconic.
Iconic.
Absolutely.
And Beck is explaining how to use conditioner to the other prisoners. Just chef kiss, yeah.
Unhinged.
Number 9, we have Emma Sky.
Mm.
I do agree with what you said. I think she's so helpful and she does bring a lot to the table detective wise. But she's so unhappy doing her job. I just couldn't put her higher. Like, she just. Poor Emma. She's not having a good time. So, yeah, that was my reasoning. I agree with you that loads of them are just like, here's why I put them in this position, and there's not really a reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
After that, I have Lana Sky, kind of middle, meh, not good, not bad. Yeah,
Lana Sky.
I could see her being like I can't really see her being a prosecutor, but I could see her being like a really, like super intense detective, like being super on tiny stuff and on tiny elements and on classifying everything. I think she could be really thoughtful in the process of being a detective. I could see that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Hmm.
Then I have Chief, our beloved
Oh.
Chief. You know, he deserves to be here. We love him. Fun uncle. Then I have Bobby Fulbright. I do really like him, but as a detective, he doesn't really scream detective. He was always giving us evidence. I
Hmm.
did like his dynamic with um, Blackwell, but that's not really the question. He's not really detective to me.
And the
Then
shoe
I
choice.
have
I'm not gonna get
and the
into
shoe
that.
choice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The shoe, the shoe debacle.
Mm,
Um,
mm, mm.
then we have Angel Star. I
Okay.
agree with what you said. It did bring a lot of perspective, but I don't know. She's
I think
here for me.
I respect your choice, but at the same time, I feel like it's a case you don't remember anything from.
Yeah, definitely. There's just a big cloud, but I feel like if I replayed it, she might have been higher. But for now, she doesn't left a very strong impression on me, so she's here.
Do you
And
think
the
you remember? Go on.
no, tell me.
Do you think you remember that case better over Investigations One?
Oh, tough call. I I actually, I think I remember Investigation 1 better. I probably haven't played because it's very fuzzy, but the more we talk about it on the podcast, the more I'm like, oh yeah, this happened here and this happened there. With like, I have, I was probably 11 the last time I played Rise from the Ashes. I need to replay it.
Oh my
I'm gonna bring
god.
it. I have a strong memory of playing it as like in middle school. I need to replay it, yeah. But it was just so long and tedious. But I'll
Mm,
replay it, and yeah, but the thing is, like, my reasoning, I think, behind it is since she was demoted from being a detective, how
mm.
detective is she? And the next one on my list was Jake Marshall. Kind of in the same realm, same case, same kind of cloudiness over what they actually did. 15, we have Valerie Hawthorne. Didn't even remember she was a detective. Same as you. Deserves to be here, in my opinion. Then I have Bruce Goodman, soup drinker, old man. I wouldn't see him jump over like an obstacle to run after a thief. I wouldn't see him do that. So, not really detective in my book. Then I have Buddy Faith. You have been murdered and I do not care about you. 18. Darian Crescent. You're a murderer. You're not a detective. That's how I feel about him. I definitely see him as a musician. A detective, no.
Mm.
And my last one is Look at Me. Because how bad of a detective must you be to invent your nemesis? Like, I think he cannot solve anything, and so created his own drama. And I
Mm.
respect that from a human standpoint. I'd like to have his, like, he's just unhinged, and I respect that. The commitment to his craft. I love it. I wish I was, I feel like if Look at Me was, like, existed in my life, he'd be like an unhinged neighbor who I would run into sometimes, like, getting my mail, and always be like, darling, come to my house, we'll have tea. And I'd love every second of it. But as a detective, he sucks, and he's my bottom pick.
Mm.
Lots to
Absolutely.
think about. Lots to think about.
I have this idea that Bruce Goodman lives in an attic, like his apartment is an attic, and
Hmm.
he takes like he his roommate who in he's like not related to, but when he moved in, his roommate is this 95-year-old woman who can't do anything for herself, so like he has to
Yeah.
take care of her, and one day he got murdered and no one
Oh
took care
no,
of
the
her.
grandma. And she
So she
died?
died.
Oh my god, that's so sad. I'm gonna cry now. But I do agree with the living in an attic part. I was gonna say, like, he gives me, like, Phantom of the Opera vibes, but instead of living in the sewers, he lives, like, in the attic. And, like, talks with
Ugh,
bats.
I hate him. After
Rose
that soup
Goodman.
comment, I'm sorry. How do you expect me to like someone?
I mean, yeah, I've ruined him. But yeah, very old man vibey.
He reads vintage comics and his favorite superhero is like Superman. Whose favorite is Superman?
Yeah.
Do you
Uh,
understand?
yeah, and I feel like the only room that he owns in, like, the place he's staying at, he calls it his man cave. You
Ugh.
know?
Yeah.
Pussy is his kryptonite.
So, intense episode. Do you want to move on to questions?
Yes, let's begin with my first question. So, we've discussed it, especially in your ranking, but I just stated detectives are incompetent in this game because it's kind of helps. If the purpose of the game is to find the culprit yourself, detectives have to be bad at their job, or else it will be resolved in a second. So I wrote the detectives are incompetent on purpose. How would it affect the game if they're good at their job?
I thought we evaded the telepathy curse with our rankings, but
No,
we did not
no.
because my first question, Bestie Soft, is no, please listen to the wording. Please listen to the wording. I'm gonna like fucking leave. And I don't know where I'm gonna go. Because my first question says the detectives are made deliberately incompetent in order to have the sleuthing be more fun for the protagonist and the player. Do you think the game would still be fun if the detectives were better at their jobs?
Oh my god. I actually have this theory that you don't exist. You're just like a figment of my imagination. I'm just talking to myself every week. That's, I
How
think,
could
what's
that
going
be
on.
true if I'm Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend's swollen testicle?
That's a pretty good evidence of your reality. Yeah. But, like, how crazy is this?
I'm gonna
We
fucking.
have the same
I need a
brain.
minute. I need a fucking minute.
We'll be back with you shortly as we just stare in silence. Shocked. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the hell? And also, just for the record, we didn't plan this at all. Like, we didn't even discuss the questions this week. Like, sometimes, like, oh, what kind of question are you going with? This time, it was just radio silence.
And
And it's like my
and
first question, too.
it's not even Larry.
It's not Larry, it's such a specific question. I am fuming. So disturbed. I'm so disturbed. What the hell? I'm looking around my room like I'm in the office and I'm like want to stare into the cameras like to show my disbelief. I'm so
Okay,
shocked.
let's just answer the fucking question.
Yes. You go first. I asked first.
Um, no, it would not be fun if the detectives were not good. Were good at their jobs. I mean, the Emma is competent, and oh my god, this is exhausting after this reveal. Um, okay, so yeah, Emma is good at her job. but her whole shtick is that she's like tired and grumpy, and like she counters Apollo, who is also tired and grumpy. Like,
Mm.
I don't know. It wouldn't be fun. Like, they're deliberately made stupid. Absolutely. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, and I think it would be significantly less fun if they were good. Like they always mess up, and it's going to point out like their mistakes. And I think that if they're better, maybe it would call for more like creative plot points of like, oh, even a good detective couldn't see that.
Mm,
So maybe I do think that maybe in that like the last case, if we had a different detective each case, we could have a really good one who wouldn't make mistakes.
mm.
But yeah, apart from that, I think it would make the game more serious and a little less fun.
I was gonna say, like, what if we had a detective which was like secretly a cyborg or something, like was top perfect and like gathered all the clues, but that's kind of like the prosecutor's thing,
Yeah,
like them tripping you during trial, like, oh, updated autopsy.
that's kind of the dynamic. You need a fool and a smart guy to be up against.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If we have the same next question, I'm gonna like
Yeah, I'm gonna
end
be
the
freaked.
episode. I promise.
Sure, sure.
But I don't think so. It's something oddly specific about one of them.
Okay.
So my first, I guess, question is, do you think making Bobby Fulbright the culprit of the last case was a good idea, or did you connect with him to a level which had you resent his twist, like you wanted him to stick around more? Or would you rather have Emma be the investigator of Dual Destinies?
I want to respond yes to all three of those questions at the same time. I did like the idea of the detective being the
Mm,
final villain. I
yeah.
didn't like the whole phantom aspect because it kind of like I think was an easy solution to a lot of important questions like, oh, he can do that because he's a superhuman spy trained. I think it would have been much more impactful if it was like, no, Bobby Fulbright is just a detective who got like turned like who just is a villain. You know what I mean? Like I think that would have been so much more interesting. And because the real Phantom didn't really have an identity, and like the real Bobby Fulbright was an actual person and killed him, I think it was kind of like, oh, I actually don't care about this Phantom guy. You know what I mean? Like he's not like because he doesn't have an identity nor a personality. Like it felt lackluster to me. The reveal.
They had a strong premise, but I feel like the extra stuff ruined it for me. Like,
Mm,
if you just told me the detective is ultimately the villain in the twist, I'd be down. But you
yeah, me
had
too.
to, like, why did they have to, like, make it super complicated? Like, oh, he's superhuman. Oh, he doesn't have an identity. Oh, he killed Athena's mom. Like, okay, I can get behind that last one if you did the execution of it better, but don't like just tell me he's like a psychopath.
Yeah,
I
like
believe it.
exactly. And I didn't like the fact that he wasn't Bobby Fulbright. Like I didn't like that. Like
Mm,
just have the detective being a piece of shit in the background and actually go on and kill people. That would
mm.
be so much more impactful. I would love that. So I like the idea of it, not the execution. And I did like him before that reveal. I liked Bobby Fulbright as a character. I thought he was fun. I was excited to see him in the next office. So that was a bit of a bummer. But in the long run, like we've established in a few episodes ago, like I wished there was only one detective for the second trilogy, and that
Yeah,
would have been Emma for me. So yeah.
same. But the thing you said about the detective being a scumbag, we don't really see exactly that, but we do get Tyrell back, who was a thief.
Yeah, but not really a villain.
No, he was a
Mm.
good guy. He was an
Yeah.
anti-hero.
But I love that storyline.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
so well executed. I really believe it. And that's why Tyrell is, like, on my second. It made sense. I believed in it. Like, I love that storyline.
Okay. So, what is your next question, Bestie Sock?
Bestie suck. Well, my second question is: you are murdered. Who do you want to? Who do you pick to investigate your crime?
I was gonna say, I was gonna try to outsmart you and be kind of like a smarty pants and say, oh, I'm gonna pick Lynn because she's gonna tell Yomiel to bring me back to life. But
Oh,
honestly, if I was murdered, I wouldn't want to come back to life, so I don't know. That sounded so morbid.
what did he say? What did you just say? How dare you? How dare you say something like that? Never say that again. I will come to hell and drag you out and bring you back. Do not say that. You can't see me, but I'm vigorously shaking my index at him. It's a no-no. You don't say this. Think of all of the sunset you're gonna miss. And the good food. You can't do
The
that.
what?
What about the sunsets and the good food?
The sunset?
Yeah,
I think you have me
that's the art.
confused with someone else.
I don't know. Sunsets are cool. Everybody
um,
loves sunsets. You don't like sunsets? I thought that was going to be a winning argument to keep you alive. Oh, I'm so
I don't
disappointed that you don't
know.
like sunset. What about sunrises?
Oh, now you have me sold.
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
more of a
Then
sunrise
replace
gal.
my sunsets with sunrises. Yeah. Think of all the
Okay,
sunrises you're going to miss.
then
Got him.
yeah, I am kind of sold now. But still, I wouldn't pick Lynn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, for her to take a whole night to solve it, girl. Honestly, if I was murdered, the one I would want handling my death would be Look at Me because I don't know, I'm
Sure.
such a coward that I'd probably be murdered on the spot, like really simple, but Look at Me could, like, the bullshitting could make me look like a fucking
Mm,
hero. Like
yeah.
he'd come up with the most elaborate fucking
That he'd be
like
like, "It's
scenario.
Mask the Mask.
Yeah.
He fought Mask the Mask, and Mask the Mask assassinated him because he was too strong." Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
I think I'd pick Damon Gunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think I'd want someone powerful and corrupt to find the truth.
Corrupt.
He is corrupt. He's shady. You know, I feel like if you have Damon Gaunt on your side, you're truly unstoppable. Like, the man would go to any length to get what he wants. So I think he'd find the culprit.
I mean, that's actually pretty accurate. So,
He'd find the culprit and, you know, like, lift him up by the collar and then put it in between his huge pecs and then squeeze them and murder them on the spot.
oh my god, I I'm so wet.
You find the way you want to go. If you want to be murdered, it's this way or nothing.
Oh, I if I was in like Dante's Inferno and I was in like Eternal Loop, that would be the
Yeah,
death I would choose.
got it. What's your next question?
I think this is genuinely my favorite episode we've ever done.
We've been saying that for every episode this season. I feel like
No, no,
we're
no.
truly on a roll.
This is genuinely my favorite one.
I
Like
mean, who would thought the detective would be so fun?
from the like start to finish, we've been hitting every note correctly. Like even the fucking telepathy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm keeping that fucking this in.
Of course.
So my next question, Bestie Sock, is who do you want to see get a promotion and who a demotion?
Ooh. I want to see Gumshoe get a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Let him eat better. Maybe he can afford to go to a restaurant every now and then, get a pedicure. I would love to see that. Um, I'm thinking for demotion. I think I don't know. I feel like Darian Crescent is never at work because of his he's always on tour or something. So I feel like he's has a terrible work ethic and I feel like he should get demoted. And that hairstyle should be illegal.
I will not defend my boo.
Okay, got it.
He doesn't deserve it. um, I don't know, like people who left or died, like, well, not actually people who died, but people who left, like Angel Star. Like I wanted to give her a promotion, but wouldn't she need to be rehired first?
Yeah, I guess so. The woman can run in heels. She should be on the side of the law.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the reason they got in trouble, like the team of them, I just remember it's because they accused someone wrong, I think, or something. Ah,
Mm.
I don't remember that case, and I played it recently, actually, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, it felt confusing.
I can't remember if they accused someone wrong or arrested someone wrong or couldn't find definitive evidence to lock Joe Dark away.
Mm.
Okay, then I'm not gonna choose any of them because honestly, as bad as I feel for Angel Star and Jake Marshall, maybe they did deserve to be demoted and fired.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, whatever. Um, then my promotion and demotion would probably have to be. I wish Gumshoe would have a pay raise, but not a promotion. I want the chief to get a promotion.
Ooh.
Like maybe reach Damon Gunn status. Like maybe we could actually see his sprites, and he could tell us like how he was born with a desk instead of legs. I don't know. And a demotion would go to as harsh as it sounds, Emma Sky, because I think she does not understand how hard it is to be employed nowadays, and her whining and moaning all the
True.
time
True.
is not really a good image.
Also, that could be the push that she needs to really be better. Like
Yeah.
that demotion, she would be like, "What the fuck am I doing with my life?" and actually get to work on herself. I would love to see that for
Like
her.
instead of like complaining all the time.
Yeah.
Like girl, you should be fucking glad you have a job. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, bestie.
Got it. Yeah, we can't resonate. We are unemployed. I mean, yeah. Okay, I could see that.
So yeah, what's your next question, bestie?
So my next question is, apart from Lana, we never really defended the detective in court. Who would you like to defend?
Oh, Lynn, 1,000,000%.
Oh, yeah.
I want her to come. Like, I want her to have a eureka moment when she steps into the Right Anything agency and it's Athena. It's like the same exact person. Yeah.
Like the Spider-Man
And
meme.
yeah. and Athena gets to defend Lynn, and the assistant is Maya.
That would be iconic.
And like by the end of the case, do you know that I think it's a Korean video, but I'm not sure. It's that video of models just walking synchronized in a mall in high heels. I'll try to find it, but it's like a flash
Okay.
mob of models.
My God. Sounds very intense.
This is such a rich reach, but I can just imagine them coming out of the courthouse walking synchronized, like with sunglasses. I can't find
love
it. I'll
that.
try to find it when I'm editing.
But I
yeah.
kind of get the pictures. Just girl bossing.
Yeah. Okay. So what about? Oh, I found it.
Oh, you found it? Oh, okay. Yes,
I'll put it up on
absolutely.
screen. Okay. So yeah, what would your choice be?
I think look at
And by
me.
whom?
Look at me for me, because he's a lot of fun. He was the best part of that, that case. It would be just so much fun
Okay.
defending him. He would make it so difficult for us because he'd always be lying. And I love people who lie for no reason, especially when you're defending them. I think it'll be fun. Like an unhinged dementia patient. Um, who would defend? Who? I don't know. Who would defend them? That's a good question. Maybe. Well, in my head it was Phoenix, but I feel like maybe could bring out a fun side of Apollo. Like, shake him
I
up a
was thinking the
little,
same thing.
challenge him. Yeah,
Like Apollo, like he would break Apollo 100%.
definitely agreed.
Yeah. My final question, Bestie Sock, is choose one of them to be a detective for Ace Attorney 7.
Oh, not the gumshoe. Leave the man at resting.
Leave the man in 7 years ago.
Honestly, Tyrell Bad.
But he's arrested.
You know. Oh shit. Oh shit. I do not have a good. Well, he could be out of prison. An old Tyrell Bad who got back. Well, can you be a detective once you got arrested? Maybe his charges were dropped because they liked him. I don't know. Let me think. Say what you thought about, so I have the time to think.
Okay. I know, like I said, she could fuck off before, but I want Angel Star personally.
Oh, yes.
Like, we don't have a lot of lore on her. She did some shady mistakes in her past, but I don't know. She's back. She's better than ever. She's like doing the keto diet. Like, absolutely. Like in her signature quote with the fall green mint fair and the like sleeves. I love her, honestly. Like,
Yeah, she would be
she's
the
the best.
best.
What about
Yeah,
you?
that's an excellent answer. So that, or I was thinking Chief.
Oh,
Chief could be a good one. Like, think of
yes.
Chief. He spent years behind the desk and now he's finally being sent on the field, and it's so bad at his job because he's like not used to it and he's constantly forgetting stuff, but at the same time, it's like He's our chief. We love him. I would like to see that. I want more of Chief.
And he also couldn't chase after the culprit because
He doesn't have legs. It's just a desk. Yes. Fantastic.
I would like to see this man's X-rays, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say ever.
Yeah. We want to see what's underneath that desk. Agreed.
Like, I feel like his spine just connects to the top of the desk.
Yeah. And maybe like his legs could be, the legs of the desk. Like kind of a spider thing. Like, you see the picture?
Chief
I feel like you
is
should
a
draw
demon.
this. Please draw this when you have the time.
Chief is a demon, and we are manifesting.
Yes.
But yeah.
I have two.
To cap it off, I just wanted to say that, like, I got around to Emma being the detective in Apollo Justice, but at the same time I was like, oh, really? They brought her back? Like, I'd like to see a new character as a detective after Gumshoe.
Yeah.
And yeah, Angel Star would be bringing someone back, but it's because she has limited lore. That'd be nice. Like, if someone is completely new and doesn't have like a definitive connection to the player or the protagonist, like just like Gumshoe, the player could get to know her better and form their own relationship.
And she'd be really fun.
Yeah. So yeah. You have 2 questions left?
Exactly. I have 2 questions left. So my first one is, pick a prosecutor to assign to Lynn, Cabanela, and Jod.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good one. I'm awesome, I suppose.
I suppose. That's a good one.
We haven't said that in such a long time.
Hot Girl Summer by Megan Thee Stallion. Love that. We love that.
A prosecutor. Let me just get out the prosecutor graphics we made for
Of course.
2 episodes ago.
I'm aggressively flicking through my notebook to find
I want
my
to
list.
choose Manfred for one of them, but I'm not that cool. Okay. Let me tell you. Okay, so Clavier would definitely roll with Lynn.
Okay.
No, yeah. They'd be together. Like, I don't know, because they're both hip. I don't know. I need time to think about this because I'm kind of regretting saying that. What about you?
So my pick was for Clavier. If he was one of them, I would give him Jode. Because I feel like there would be very, opposite, but they would just work. And I feel like Clavier would always be like, John would talk about his family and be like, oh, that's what I want, man. We've got it all figured out. And Claudia would be like, I have fame, I have success, but all I want is a family. Because as we've established it, he's a boring couple person who just wants to hang out with his boyfriend and his cat.
Yeah. And they're both involved with the arts.
Yeah. And I feel like Jod could introduce that cool drummer from his prison to Clavier, and he could be part of the Gaviners.
Or the imprisoned drummer could meet Darian in there.
Sure.
Like in prison.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that was the vibe I was getting. So, Jod and Clavier for me. Then, hear me out on this one. Cabanella and Winston Payne. Power couple. He would annoy him so much. I would love to see that dynamic. And I feel like Cabanella would be like such an amazing detective, and Winston Payne would like he would give him all of the evidence. He would catch the right guy. Like he would make no mistake, and then Winston Payne would find a way to mess it up in the trial. So it will be like a never-ending cycle of like fights and disagreements, and I think that could be a fascinating dynamic. And I don't know. I wanted to say Blackwell and Lynn because for me, Lynn is Athena and I like the dynamic. I don't really know for Lynn. Maybe I was also thinking maybe Francisca because girl boss, girl bossing. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Blackwell.
Okay. Because
Did that give
of the
you
Athena reasoning?
time? Yeah, ish.
Okay. It did give me time. Thank you. Um, so mine would be um, Blackwell and Cabanella
Okay.
because he'd be like replacing Fulbright, and like
Absolutely.
he's the complete opposite of emo Blackwell. Like,
He's so fun.
yeah, like kicking and dancing all the time, and Blackwell would be beyond annoyed. After last episode, I'm really getting along with Blackwell.
I love that.
And then I'd pair up Detective Jowd with Francisca
Okay,
because
I could
I
see
think
that.
they look like
She
a
needs a good
superhero
figure,
duo.
and she
A
needs a
what?
good father figure.
Yes, that
Mm,
too. Like she'd be like I feel like he'd smooth her edges, not
yeah,
changing her and not making her less aggressive, but definitely feel like she could pick up a few stuff from him, like in terms of controlling her anger.
agreed. Fully agreed.
Because the man is so calm even after like he's been imprisoned wrongfully.
Mm.
And for Lynn, I'm choosing Sebastian the best
Okay.
because um we've seen how Lynn is great with kids because she's living with Camilla and they're besties. But also, death seems to follow Lynn around everywhere she goes. So if Sebastian hangs out with Lynn,
Mm.
then maybe, hopefully,
Yeah.
yeah.
Death.
Like, I don't know, like, I feel like Lynn is an internal loop of Final Destination movies. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like
definitely.
someone would be transporting a piano to an apartment and the rope would snap, but instead of her
Yes.
being under it, Sebastian would be. I don't know. Lynn, when she was a baby, she might have like found an ancient Egyptian artifact which put a curse on her, and she
Yeah,
keeps
probably.
dying. So maybe that would
Yeah.
like like it would satisfy the curse if Sebastian died in her
Mm,
place.
I
So
get that. She could like transfer it.
yes.
Mm.
What is your final question then?
My final question is we need to remember that those people work together in an office. So, what are the relationship like in the precinct? who are friends, who are enemies, who is like the favorite one of the boss, etc.
Excellent question. I feel like this could be the cast of The Office.
Yes, I want to see that.
Um, Jim would definitely be Clavier.
Okay.
Yeah, like absolutely.
Yeah.
And I, I kept remembering. It's funny you bring this up because earlier this episode, while we were doing the rankings, I remembered that some people, including multiple artists with feature, have
Mm.
portrayed the headcanon of Damon Gaunt, Blaze the Best, and Manfred von Karma knowing each other when they were younger.
Yeah.
And I love that headcanon. So I was thinking, like, it did come as a shock that all these people worked together when you said it, but I was thinking, like, maybe some of them did have genuine friendships.
I think
Like,
they
I
did.
feel like Gumshoe, he's like the black sheep of the precinct. Like, nobody wants to, like, come around him considering his reputation. But definitely other
Mm.
people, like, Tyrell Bad probably had a rivalry with, like, Damon Gaunt.
Definitely. They're
Yeah.
like opposites.
Or, like, if we're going beyond the time jump, imagine the relationship between Emma Sky and Bobby Fulbright.
Oh, that could be fun. That could be really fun.
Or, like, Bobby Fulbright could have a one night stand with Candace Arm.
Yeah, I'd see that. And
Like,
like she like he would never call her back, but not even think anything of it, just like not maliciously, just like, oh, okay, this happened. And she would like call him out in front of the whole office and be like, you're a jerk, and pour like a hot beverage onto his lap.
basically.
Mm. I could
And
see
yeah.
Candace Arm and Angel Star being friends.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
they talk, they gossip at lunch breaks, eating their salads. And they'll be
And
like,
if we go by the timeline, then it means that Candace Arm could have possibly been a rookie when Angel Star was a
oh,
detective.
that's right, yeah, definitely.
And
I love that.
I definitely see her, like, the way you brought it up, and considering the time jump, kind of like her, like them being friends, but also kind of like mentor, like,
Ooh, yeah.
and definitely Angel Star, Bruce Goodman, and Jake Marshall were friends. Oh, and Neil
Mm,
Marshall.
yeah, I could see that.
The only one who definitely doesn't have friends from the entire list is Shilong Long.
He does not have friends. What about, do you think Dick Gumshoe has friends?
The thing is that Dick Gumshoe has the Write Anything agency,
Yeah, like I feel like he goes to lunch with them during his lunch
and
breaks.
I don't remember which case it is, but there's a case where there's, like, a lot of people are telling Dick Gumshoe, like, "Oh, Dick, let's go out for lunch." Like, it's actually shown in the dialogue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think he's that lonely. I feel like, for instance, Dick Gumshoe could get along with like Jake Marshall, kind of that vibe of like nice, friendly guys. Like he'd watch football with them.
Yeah, like, I just think because he's kind of, like, slow in the head sometimes, Gumshoe.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe his coworkers would take advantage of him and basically have him do the donkey work in the
yeah.
precinct.
But I
Like,
feel like
fetch
the
me those
nice ones,
photocopies.
like
A what?
the nice detectives would be
Yes.
chill towards him.
Yeah.
Yeah. the one who I really don't see having friends, and I have this very strong vision of the precinct and just like look at me knocking on the window and be like, "Hi, fellow colleagues. How are you doing on this fine day, Zvari?" And everybody like be like, "No, not this guy again. He comes every Tuesday, he tries to mingle with us." That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yikes. Yeah, exactly. Did you ever watch Elementary?
I watched
It
like
was
2 episodes.
it was that show with Lucy Liu. You know
As
the like
Watson? Yeah.
um everyone in the like precinct hated Sherlock Holmes
Oh.
because
Oh
he like
yeah.
used to rub it in their faces and be like a complete asshole. I
I
feel
like
like
that.
that's
Yeah.
how Look at Me would act.
Completely agree.
But
Exactly the
yeah,
vibe I was going for.
but yeah, then it's him and Shilong Lung who are basically lonely. I feel like Shilong
Yeah.
Lung would send you a friend request at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. And if you like didn't respond the way he liked, he would be like, "Oh, sorry, I did that by mistake.
Yeah, but
My
he has
like
like
my
two
mom
friends.
pressed on the wrong button. I let my little brother use my phone and he sent you that.
Mm.
Don't be flattered, you know."
He has the same picture, which is him catching a fish on a boat, like 15 times as his profile picture. And
Yeah.
his only two friends are his brother and Sheena, which is in jail.
Yeah. I feel like he still visits Sheena and he like they still talk, but I
A
feel like
one
his
million percent.
yeah, I feel like his profile picture is that picture of him with the fish, but also the filter like we all stand with Paris. Like he hasn't changed it since 2015. Like it's still that kind of filter. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Oh, definitely, definitely. He probably pulled some strings in the prison to have Sheena have a cell phone so
Oh,
they can
he sends
like
her meme.
exchange messages.
Yeah,
And she doesn't even respond.
absolutely. And that was my final question.
Great.
Great. What an episode.
This has been one hell of an episode.
We
Absolutely.
laughed, we cried, we had many epiphanies.
I am
Brilliant.
not well.
Oh,
Perfect. So, what are you doing after this, Lucy?
during the podcast, I've received a strange message from someone who I don't really speak to anymore, so I'm gonna go investigate that. It's not really a strange message, but it was just like, why are you sending me this? Yeah.
Okay. Yikes. Um,
What about you?
um, I I've recently started watching nonstop Bong Joon-ho movies because
Yes.
a really good friend of mine recommended Memories of Murder, and it was
Oh,
absolutely 10 out of 10.
oh.
And yesterday I watched Parasite,
Mhm.
and I don't know, I'm debating on whether or not I should watch The Host or Mother next, but
I'd really recommend Mother. I love
Mother,
it. Yeah. So Memories of Murders is my favorite movie. I love it so
mm,
much. But Mother has some amazing scenes. Like I really like it. It's not my favorite, but I really like it. I recommend it. And
that
I
is the
haven't
next one
seen The
then.
Host, so I can't really
Mm.
speak on that one.
How would you rank the Mother, Memories of Murder, and Parasite?
And Aksha, have you seen Aksha? Can I rank it?
I so don't want to watch it because if that thing dies at the end, I swear I'm never gonna watch a movie ever in my life again, ever. I can't stand animal cruelty. I can't.
Well, it's not the best. Like, it is about animal cruelty. So,
I know.
yeah.
That's why I don't want to watch it. But the three of them, how would you rank them?
Well, Memories of Murder first. Favorite movie
Mm.
of all time. I don't know. It's a tough call, but there is a specific scene in Mother that I love. I feel like logically it'll be Memories of Murder, Parasite, and then Mother. Because I do think that, like, realistically speaking, Parasite is slightly better than Mother. But speaking from the heart, I would place Mother second. Because
Mm.
I'll watch it and then I'll explain to you like what scene I loved, and like I
Okay.
think it's a great movie.
Yeah. I'm watching Parasite again this week.
How was it?
We watched it together at the cinema before the pandemic happened, and then I
Yeah,
watched it yesterday again, and it's still like it's somehow better the second time.
I
And
agree.
now I'm gonna show it to my mom.
It's so good. And it's so funny at times and it's so dramatic. It's such a good film. You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe Parasite second.
Mm.
There are so
Yeah.
many moments that I quote from that, like,
You
so many
quote?
things that I do. Like, I always think of that scene when they're in the car after the flood and she's like, oh, it was just a little bit of rain, it did us good. And I always
Yeah.
think about that because I think it's so true with like so many things in life. Like, you talk about some, I just love that scene. And I think it encapsulates a very true, like, moment.
Go watch Parasite,
Go watch Parasite,
basically.
yeah. This
So
is
yeah.
becoming a movie podcast.
Yeah.
But
Let's.
yeah, we'll see
Thank you so much
you
for tuning
next
in.
week.
What?
Yes. We'll see you next week, I was saying.
Yeah, we will. Um, Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you had as much fun listening as we had recording.
Absolutely. We love you.
Yeah.
And see you next week.
And I'm sorry you said you have a small penis. If you watch this, you probably don't.
Yes. I think if you watch this, you actually don't. Like, it's confirmed.
Yeah, you actually have a huge ass dick.
Yeah. That's the rule to be subscribed and to be able to listen. So, have a great week. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everyone.
Bye.